Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to take a very quick look at the game Roll For It. Now it's important to know that there are two different versions of this game. There is the red version and the purple version, and each version supports between 2 and 4 players, is for ages 8 and up, and the average play time is between 20 and 40 minutes. However, if you get both versions and combine the two, you can support up to 8 players. Roll For It is a dice rolling game where players will be rolling dice, obviously, and will be attempting to match those dice with cards in order to score points. And the person that reaches a certain point value first will win the game. Let's just take a quick moment to look at the components and see how the game is played. Okay, now I've laid out both versions before you, the top row being the red version and the bottom row being the purple version, just so that you can see the differences between the two. Although as you can see, there's not really that big of a difference. The main difference is in how the dice look, but I'll get to that in a minute. Each version comes with a total of 24 dice of 4 different colors at 6 dice each, and you've got 30 cards per version. And as you can see, the cards come in a few different colors here of varying point values. And I like the fact that all of the cards are color-coded. All of the yellow cards are worth 5 points, all of the green cards are worth 10 points, the blue cards 2, and so on and so forth. Now, as far as the dice are concerned, the main differences basically is just how they look. Let me see if I can focus in on this. Now these are the dice featured in the red version. As you can see, they're a bit more clear. In the purple version, they're a bit more solid. I believe these are called pearl dice, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, as you can see, there's really not that big of a difference between the two versions. No matter which one you go with, you're really not missing out if you happen to pick one over the other. Alright, now game setup is pretty simple. You'll simply shuffle the deck of cards and draw 3 face-up into the center of the table. Like I was saying before, though, if you have both versions, you can combine both decks and put them all together like so, shuffle them up, and instead you'll draw 4. Now again, having both versions together will increase the player count from 2 to 4 to 5 to 8, in case you want to play with more than 4 people. Now each player will receive a set of dice. Again, there are 6 dice per set, and each player will take 2, roll them, and then whoever has the highest value will get to go first. A player's turn is broken up into 3 phases: the roll for it phase, the match it phase, and the score it phase. For the very first phase, the roll for it phase, you'll just simply take all of your available dice, and I stress the word available because you'll be locking dice onto these cards throughout the game, and you can only roll the dice that aren't locked in, and I'll explain that in a minute. But you'll roll your available dice, and that'll actually conclude the very first phase, the roll for it phase. The second phase, the match it phase, involves you taking a look at these dice, and this player will have the option of pairing these dice up with these cards. So, for example, this player could take the 2 that they rolled and place it next to this yellow card. That'll lock in that dice for future turns. However, you can get the dice back a few different ways if you need it back. And this player could continue pairing up different dice with these cards. For example, there is a 6 over here. The player could put that over here if they wanted to. There's a 4 there. I could do that. There's a 3 on this card. I could do that. Although you'll need to be careful. As you can see, some of the cards require so many of your dice. This one worth 15 points, for example, requires all 6 of your dice. So it wouldn't make sense to put some over here and then only some over here. You would need all 6 of your dice in order to score this card. And that actually leads me to my next phase, the score it phase. When a player completely matches all of the, let me just take these back as an example. When a player completely matches a card with the dice that they've assigned to it. In this case, let's say that this player had rolled 3 2s and put the 3 2s like so next to this card. Now in the score it phase, the player could then take this card, put it into their score pile, and then anyone that has dice on these cards will get to take them back and put them into their hand, so to speak. Now a new card will be drawn to replace the one that was taken. Now I'm just going to go through a few turns on my own just to sort of show you what the gameplay feels like. For the purple player, let's just say that purple went ahead and rolled, and here we go. We've got 2 5s. Let's pair them up with the 2 5s on that card. There's no 3s. There's a 1 here. And it wouldn't make sense for purple to place anything on this card because purple would need to devote all 6 of their dice in order to try and get that card. So that'll actually end their turn. Now it's green's turn. Green's going to go ahead and roll all 6 of their available dice. There are 2 3s here. Oh, that actually worked out. Alright, so there's actually 2 3s, 2 5s. Now, this is completely matched at this point, but the match it phase is still not over. So if green wanted to, he could continue placing dice. But green's going to say enough is enough, and he will not match these up over here. So during the score it phase, green will go ahead and take this card, put it into their score pile. Purple gets these dice back, green gets these dice back, and a new card is drawn to replace it. Now, that's basically just an overview of how the game plays out. Now, one thing I didn't cover yet, at the beginning of your turn, you have the option of taking all of the dice that you've assigned or locked into these cards and putting them back into your hand. Now, this will continue back and forth until one player reaches 40 points. The first person to reach 40 points will win the game. And there you have it. That's just a very quick look at the game rule for it. Nothing fancy, but this should just give you the general overview of how the game is played. You can check out my review at www.dadsgamingaddiction.com, or you can simply click on the link in the below description that'll take you there as well. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.